All right, welcome to another edition of the Leadership Livestream brought to you by Women's Council Realtors. My name is Nick Sakis with Amplified Marketing Group. We got another great show for you guys today with Febre Frameworks. Going to go into detail about all of this cool stuff, social distancing, how they're using it for video, and how you can implement more video in your business. But before we begin, just a little housekeeping as usual. We are streaming this live on Facebook. So if you guys have any questions, for the guests or my mom or myself or anybody on the show, just post them in the comments below. I will be monitoring the chat as we go on. And so without further ado, I will bring on our hostess with the mostest, as I like to say, your president of Women's Council Realtors, Mrs. Catherine Sakis.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining. I want to give a special thanks to Nick and Amplified Marketing for setting this up for us and also being one of our Diamond strategic partners. And just a warm welcome to all of our Women's Council members, our strategic partners, our friends, our fans. Welcome to another show. We've had phenomenal success with these live streams, and everyone has enjoyed them, learned a lot, and we're very pleased and proud to feature our strategic partners. Without them, we would not have an organization. So that being said, I would like to start off with reminding everyone what the mission statement is of Women's Council of Realtors, and that is we are a network of successful realtors advancing women in business as business leaders in the industry and the communities we serve. And that says it all. And we hope this Leadership Live gives you a little more insight and a little more education into leadership. As I like to remind people, you don't have to take on the world to be a leader. Everyone's a leader, certainly in their own businesses, in their own real estate careers, in their own homes, in their own families. And it's even more important now to have that combination of leadership and success during this difficult time, because success has been redefined not just as monetary but personal goals. And during this time, we all want everyone to successfully stay healthy. Okay, so that being said, I'm very pleased to bring on our Diamond strategic partners, Febre Frameworks, and from Febre we have Jannete Sawdon and Blake Knotts. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us on. How are you guys doing today?
Great. How about you?
Doing well. Thanks for asking.
As I said in the intro, Febre is a Diamond sponsor, and they're actually our official photographer, just as Amplified is our official social media company. And when we were fortunate enough to be having live events, many of you met Jannete and some of the Febre photographers there, as they would go around and not only photograph our events beautifully with a collection of stills, but they also videoed every event. And I don't know if I told you this before, Jannete, but we're the first network in the whole country to have our events videotaped.
Oh, that's awesome.
You guys have been doing an awesome job with that too. Those videos are great.
We get so much feedback about how beautiful and not only is it just sort of like capturing the event, with the speakers and prizes or whatever. Y'all do a great job at capturing the individuals and the actual feeling of being
the
story.
Why, emotions.
And so from those videos, Nick established our YouTube channel. So those of you out there who have never seen these videos or never had the pleasure to come to a live event or would like to relive the fun they had, they can go to our YouTube channel to see it. Nick, how do they do that?
They just search for Women's Council of Realtors Tampa.
When they're at YouTube?
Yeah, when they're on YouTube, yeah.
Okay. So that was kind of lengthy introduction, but I had to give you all that great shout out.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Well deserved. Jannete, you are the general manager of Febre, and I understand that you've been with them about 3 years, You're a mom. You got an 8-month-old at home. Congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
you had a little bit of a diverse career before coming in to this real estate business in teaching, and you were a listing coordinator.
I was.
So you saw the good, bad, and ugly. Now you get to see the pretty, I guess.
Yeah.
So you kind of got in on the ground floor, so I'm sure you'll have a lot to tell us about that. And Blake, you're general operations, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're the fix it everything logistics kind of guy.
Trying to just optimization and just trying to help build a business.
And your background was in civil engineering. Talk about a big change, huh?
Yeah, big
and
change.
That just goes to show you don't know what you want to do when you're in college, So
yeah, exactly.
Civil engineering, and then you worked for Frito-Lay. That must have been an experience. And then I guess it says you came to Florida and worked with your family at McAllister's Delis.
Yep. Yeah, we opened
the food business right now.
Right.
I'm guessing. So with those backgrounds, y'all bring a lot to the table. So first thing, and I guess maybe this would be directed more to Jannete, even though 3 years does not seem like a long time in the business, things change so rapidly,
Yes.
And full disclosure, I'm a client of Febre's. I've been using them for a long time. They do a great job. Prior to, say, any discussion about COVID, just in that 3 years, what was the difference in what you see that the market was asking for that you fulfilled? Say, like case in point, it used to be 10 stills, and now what is it? So what have you seen in the last 3 years that just changed dramatically in the photography or visual business?
Right. So when I first started, the business has been open almost 4 years. Okay. So I pretty much started with them from the very beginning. Way back before everything, MLS finally caught up to the realtors' demand. So they allowed 50 photos to be added to the MLS, and that was a huge, like, groundbreaking, like, thing for all clients and agents. But also they allowed virtual staging on MLS, which I think was a huge plus as well. So before COVID, that would say that was the dramatic change that we saw within those 3 years. Was the MLS was just finally catching up to the agents and what they wanted.
Well, wouldn't you say too, during that time period, the MLS also started to allow video, but I don't think too many agents were taking you up on that, right?
Right. I mean, you have 2 links that you can use to post on the MLS listing. The MLS listing. So yes, you are now you were able to post those as well, but not a lot of agents were taking advantage of that.
Right.
I think that at that point they were just starting to get more into professional photography and realize the importance of professional photography.
Well, the other change that I can recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think drones were around before 3 years ago, were they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they were just starting to become commercially used in like 2016. So that's when they developed the Part 107 certification, which all of our photographers are, Part 107 certified. That's through the FAA. So that technology was kind of, the inception was 2016.
Because I remember when drones first came out, and I don't know all that technical stuff you were saying, but all I knew is only specific photographers did it, and it was very expensive, and you only used it for very high-end homes. Now it's become competitive, affordable, where you see $200,000 homes with drone.
Right.
Photo.
Yeah. We pride ourselves on being the home of the free aerial drones. When we started the business, we wanted to bring affordable packages to agents. Because agents have a lot of other marketing that they have to invest into. So photography, we just wanted to be that easy button for all agents. Come to us, we'll get those photos and drones and video, Matterport, whatever you need at an affordable price.
Right.
But video means something different now too, right? Before, video was a virtual tour of just a collage of pictures mashed together. Now the videos that you guys produce, it's leaps and bounds ahead of anything that was going on a couple years ago. So
definitely.
So that being said, that's all kind of like pre-COVID. And when you think about a 3-year time span, that's a lot of change all at once, And I think it made a lot of sense, clearly business sense, and due to your success, you can see it did it as a realtor being user-friendly, where you have everything packaged up. It's one phone call, it's one email, everything's done. So then COVID hits. Okay, you're a person-to-person business like the realtors. You may not be dealing with the homeowners directly, but you're dealing with the realtors. Sometimes the homeowners are home when you go there to shoot. What was the biggest change in the way you do business prior to this to now?
Obviously, the biggest change that we needed to make was to make sure our staff members were doing their job safely. So we outsourced to a friend of Blake's to make our hand sanitizer for us. So we got that. We also went to an alterations business and bought masks from them, and then gloves. So we made sure our staff members were prepared to be out in the field so that we can still deliver and give you that 5-star customer service that that everyone already knows from Febre Frameworks.
So I think excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm really impressed that when you were faced with a challenge, you went to other small businesses,
of course,
to help you work it through.
Yeah, we are a small business ourselves, so we're going to support those other small businesses as well in Tampa.
Okay, then Blake, your friend that makes hand sanitizer, do tell.
Yeah, so he owns a chemical distribution company, and he was actually selling to clients that were buying bulk products to make these hand sanitizers. And I just happened to ask him, hey, we have a shortage and I need some. Anyway, you think you can get me some? So actually he it's a little spray, smells just pretty much like a hospital. So it's pretty cool to get that out to our photographers in that time of need.
That is cool. And going to the alteration store, that's a really good idea too.
That was a really good idea, going to an alteration. I didn't think of that, and I paid my alteration lady a lot of money. All right. So I'm learning so much, and then we're in this like 5 minutes. So, okay, you got your guys. I shouldn't say guys because you have female photographers too. Everybody's gloved up, masked up, hand sanitizer. You got that part handled. So maybe, Blake, this is a question for you. What was the biggest change, like operationally, day to day? Other than that, did you have to make any other big changes?
Yeah, so kind of like what you had referred to before in that, that 3-year time frame where there was a lot of drastic changes. The virtual tours, we use Matterport for our 3D virtual tours. In January, we did 40. In February, we did 40. March, we did 60. In April, we've done over 200.
Wow.
So the whole market has shifted to these 3D virtual tours, and they just bring so much value to listings. Out of state buyers, international buyers, local buyers that aren't going to risk these times going in somebody else's home and potentially coming into contact with any of this bacteria. Matterport, the 3D virtual tours have just changed the game.
So say on the Matterport, if a realtor wants that for a listing, that's nothing more difficult than them picking up the phone or sending you an email and ordering it. They don't have to be there. They don't have to do anything. All you need is access to the house, right?
We need access to the house and nothing to move.
And because of the high demand in Matterport, we actually invested back into our business, and we purchased 4 new Matterports and are distributed throughout our photographers so that we can keep up with the high demand.
That's awesome.
With the agent.
And I guess the other piece of the high demand that I'm guessing most real estate related companies don't have for photography, share with everybody how many photographers you have.
We currently have 13 photographers. We have 2 in Orlando, 1 in Jacksonville, and the rest here in Tampa. And they service, Pinellas, Lakeland, Sarasota, Tampa area, up to Spring Hill.
So you're well prepared for any kind of high demand.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side of the Matterport, as you're saying, as that progressed, tell us how the video, like we were saying prior to COVID, video was an option. Not too many realtors used it. And now everyone's trying to go video and virtual open house. What is the progression? How has that skyrocketed?
I think a lot of agents right now are thinking outside the box, since they can't meet face to face, which I think they do a lot, meeting face to face with clients. And since there's been a block there, they're thinking a lot about their social media presence and how else they can brand themselves, technology wise. So we've seen a lot more agents using video, not even of just a home, but also of of a certain area. If they want to do, let's say Wesley Chapel, if they're selling in that area, we go to a couple communities, within that area, shoot it for them, and then they use that for their own marketing. So I think we're starting to see another shift with technology in that regards. It's now going to become more about that virtual viewing of the home.
I agree. And when it comes to doing the video walkthroughs of the house, I know there's some schools of thought where agents do it on their own phone, thinking they're going to save money. And maybe there's something cute about raw footage, whatever. What would you say is the biggest difference between what you can do on video and even the best agent amateur can do on their phones? What would you say?
It's a good question. So the difference is going to be, there's different lighting throughout the home. You have bright lights, you have orange lights, you have some lights that bounce off blue. So when you're doing this on your phone, you're going to see a change in the lighting within the video, as well as the transition to each piece of the home is not going to be as fluid. Whereas, we have the professional camera, we use Adobe, so we have the back end, well set up so that we can make sure that the lighting within the video stays consistent, and the transitions going into the rooms are also pretty, and it shows the nice parts of the home as well.
Well, professional editing is, that's what makes it, right? The camera phones are pretty good, right? The images you can get on a camera phone are pretty good, but you take a 5 or 6 minute long drawn out video of you walking around versus a minute 30-second professionally edited video. That there's no question which one's better.
We can color correct. We stabilize. You're not going to see the camera jumping up and down, walking up the steps.
Or
hear you breathing hard as you're holding the camera.
Exactly. Worn out, not taking 5 minutes.
Right. We also add music to our videos. We do keep the videos down roughly around 2.5 minutes, so that we can continue to capture that client's attention and not lose them. So
I agree with Nick and what y'all are saying. The editing is gold. Never mind, there's a big difference between professional photographer's eye and an untrained eye as far as what you're going to shoot. And the editing is pure gold. And then on the realtor end, you take care of all that, and they simply just get a link. They don't have to do anything else. There's no more work involved. And then that link can be used for MLS, social media, all that, right?
Correct. Yep. They can print flyers. They can market however they like with those photos provided to them.
And then due to COVID, did you repackage any of your stuff? And are you offering like a special video package or anything like that?
We do keep the video of the videos down roughly around 2.5 minutes, so that we can continue to capture that client's attention and not lose them. So
And then
So we implemented a new package called our Ideal Matterport package. Since we've seen such a higher demand in the 3D Matterport virtual tours, we created this package. And this consists of photos, which is interior, exterior drone photos, as well as the 3D Matterport starting at $250.
That's great. That's very affordable. Very affordable.
What's great about these times, and as we've been talking about the virtual tours and the video walkthroughs, it's kind of bringing light to the value of these products, where most realtors wouldn't necessarily take the step to spend a little bit more to get these products. It's the hand's been kind of forced due to these times.
Yeah.
And now they're actually understanding the value of what these products brings to their listings and their businesses.
I have to agree with that. Sometimes we don't take action until we're forced to, or you think you're going to do it yourself. And a lot of, never mind functionality, talent issues with that. A lot of times you don't stop to think what your time is worth while you're trying to do something like that you're not good at.
And we've purchased Matterport cameras from realtors who said, you know what, I'm not going to pay the extra money. I'm just going to buy the camera and do it myself. And then they dive in and they're like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore.
Exactly. So best, just like we don't want people being by owners, we say leave it to the professionals. That's what we need to do for the photography.
Same concept.
It's the same principle. Well, what do you think? It seems like you were positioned very well already before this happened, and you already told us what you did to suit up real quickly for COVID. Overall, just as a small business, take photography out of this, what do you think the biggest COVID challenge has been?
I think we also have, we do broker meetings and we do in-person meetings, as well. So having to step back from that and then having to take this time to actually organize ourselves in the back end and find out what is the best way to market ourselves, through social media, other ways other than going to the broker meetings that we would typically do on, on a monthly basis.
Right. So you were doing it in person and then you had to go.
We did do a lot of marketing, social media and technology wise. We did do some of that, but I think we've kind of been forced to look at different avenues, not just constantly posting on Facebook, or Instagram. Now let's move to Twitter. Let's move to LinkedIn. Let's do these promo videos in-house and post them to show the value of our products and services.
Well, I think clearly you were very well organized to begin with, very well diversified on products, and jumped on the challenge or challenges very quickly. So you were probably as prepared for any change as anybody could be. But that being said, what do you think that you implemented very quickly as a small business that you are the proudest of?
Right now, I would say just kind of, rolling the dice and reinvesting back into these Matterport cameras, just so that more of our fleet could have those to be able to keep up with the demand. I mean, prior to doing that, as soon as the market was starting to shift, we were getting booked out 3 to 4 days, with Matterports, and we were having to send multiple photographers, a Matterport photographer and a camera photographer, to one home, and it just brought efficiencies way down. So reinvesting and just taking that leap of faith and buying those cameras so that we could just handle the demand. That was probably the biggest challenge and the biggest success that we've had over the last month.
And you probably mobilized all that in a couple of weeks, a very short period of time, once you recognize, because that's a big part of leadership, is recognizing the issue or the challenge, then figuring out what to do, and then implementing it. And that's in those three things, that's where a lot of people fall short, missing items, any number 1 through 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So kudos to you. And I think it's testimony to what you're doing and your management and everything, that you actually have all your people working. No one's furloughed. You adjusted very quickly, and you have a full staff that, due to protocols, I understand everybody's healthy.
Correct.
No issues there. So that's to be congratulated.
Thank you.
We got a couple questions here, so let's take a quick time out while we have people live. So the first comment or question is, did Febre do the banner image for WCR? So yes, you guys did do that video.
No,
and I put that
video, Nick, but they didn't do the stand-up banner. That's different. Right. They did all the video.
But the video, that's on the Facebook page. They did do that, so I posted it on there. And then someone said, please confirm. What's a good contact number for you guys? Just kind of halfway through, right? So somebody wants to get a hold of you, find out more. You've already given pricing, but what's a good phone number to contact you?
It's 813-906-8300.
8300. Okay, cool. And then, so another person, Darlene, asked about the drone videos. You guys already covered that. Is that always part of a package, or is the drone video something totally separate that someone can buy by itself, or how does that work?
That is a separate add-on package to photography.
Okay.
So cost for that, cost for that is an additional $125.
Okay. But that is clear, though, to clarify, that's for an entire drone video. The actual drone stills are included in your basic photography package.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, the drone video is a standalone 125, or is a part of the video walkthrough that we have, and that's at the $250.
Okay.
So I know people can go to your webpage, can call you, but people are asking pricing, and I know I'm sitting here with one of your price lists, and it's just way too long to go through everything. But just ballpark, you say your services run anywhere from 125 on up. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we're looking at 120. I would say on average, you're probably, with an average home, you're probably not going to pay any more than $350.
And that's with everything.
And that would be for Matterport photos, drone video. We have so we have a variety of packages. We do go by heated square footage, but
sure,
but typically homes usually are underneath 2,700 square feet. I feel like the more higher homes that we get, so you're paying around $350 for that.
But also, to be clear, stills with a drone still can be as low as 125, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we are home with a free aerial drone. So any package that we have is going to include drone photos.
Okay, excellent. All that being said, and you're sitting at the photography side of the phone, which is the listing side of the phone, any feel for the market going forward in general in real estate? You talking to any realtors or hearing anything? What are your thoughts for the rest of 2020?
I'm getting a mix of things. I don't think a lot of agents really know either what the market's going to be like. I think, in my opinion, we are seeing things still being consistent now. But I really think at the end of the year, when we usually have a break and it's not so, it's slow, it's a slower time, I think at the end of the year, we're really going to hit a big peak as far as people listing and whatnot, because I think everyone's waiting right now, or just trying to get a feel of what's going on. And then, so more like fourth quarter, end of the year, I think we're going to hit a high peak.
Well, if you get any more requests for Matterport, you might need to hire 13 more people. You get 1,000 requests by then from 200.
Right. Yeah. Ramping up quick.
Yeah.
It's okay. I feel the same way. And I think, you always like to be positive, lemonade out of lemons and all that good stuff. And we're especially blessed to live where we are, because we don't have a selling season prescribed by snow.
Right.
Like we may not have the summer we had, but there's nothing stopping us from doing it from September through December. We're not going to have a snowstorm late October, early, November to slow things down. So I think you're probably right. And probably a lot of it's going to depend on how quickly everybody gets back to work and gets a little calmer feeling, about all this stuff. That being said, even though things have changed, or as Nick says, business is unusual instead of business as usual, why do you think it's important to still be a member and supporter of Women's Council?
I mean, women, just right there. That's all you have to say is, we're going to support our, the women, and definitely, we want to encourage everyone, to support these small businesses as well. And just being a part of this team of strong women is going to give, us the motivation, to continue. And I know that, right now, many people are being, discouraged with everything going on. But really take this time, I think, to just look at yourselves and see what could we do to make things better, and what could we do to thrive after this kind of passes and we're in this new world.
Couldn't be better said. And we're more than happy to have you as our partner going through all this. Sorry, Blake, I didn't mean to over women, but can't help it.
Yeah, I get it. I'm on the train.
Okay. Any final words of encouragement or advice to our fellow realtors watching, listening? Other than go professional, go Febre.
Yeah, I mean, all that too. But, just stay strong. I mean, something like this isn't going to break the country. America's always been a strong country and a pretty resilient group. And, you just got to stick together and, support small businesses and support each other when you can. And, just like anything, this is all going to pass. And I think we'll bounce back as a community, especially the real estate group. But, everybody's a little bit stagnant right now. But I think there's going to be a pretty big boom, as we come out of this wake. And I'm just excited to see it and be a part of it. And, hopefully bring a lot of value to your group and, and the real estate group as a whole.
Well, I want to thank you again. Y'all have brought everyone a lot of valuable information and insight. I really appreciate you coming on. We really appreciate y'all as Diamond sponsors. Give a shout out to all your great photographers. We love them. I want to thank Nick again with Amplified Marketing. Nick, you have anything to add?
I think Blake hit it on the head earlier when he said you're kind of forced. Your hand has been forced now to be more virtual. Right, we're seeing that more and more. So I think one thing, and I think this speaks to why their Matterport tours have upped so much. I think as a real estate agent right now or a broker, it's more important now than ever. If you've been putting off having video tours or Matterport or anything like that in your arsenal, in your listing appointment, when you're talking to other potential sellers, like now's the time more than ever to have that implemented in your business, and Febre can fulfill that for you. So, it's great that they have all those tools available, but now as a realtor, it's not really an option anymore. I hate to, say that, but like video, as we know it, is not an option for your business, and especially for promoting somebody else's listing. I think that, unless you have some special circumstances, a video tour / Matterport should be on every single listing you have moving forward.
Yeah, it's a pure technology shift.
Yeah. It'll never be the same. It's not going to go backwards, guys. I promise you that. And gals, it's not going to go. We're not going to all of a sudden businesses open back up and they're like, I don't need that Matterport stuff anymore. The shift has already happened.
That's going to become the norm.
Right.
It's just like, I'm old enough to remember before professional photography, and the few agents that came out and had it were like the Mavericks, and they're like, oh, it's not going to last. Now it's expected. So, technology moves so rapidly, and kudos to you for keeping up with it, providing the services at an affordable price to the realtor community. I want to remind you, we're going to have this on replay shortly. Nick, how long till it's up on replay?
Well, it'll be up in about an hour once Facebook renders
in about an hour. So if you want to come back and revisit, and Be sure to contact Febre directly with questions, with orders. And when you see the replay or you see anything we post at Women's Council Realtors, please remember to like and share. Like and share. It's very important. We keep our name out there. And as we promised you in the beginning of the year, we promised you a value proposition. And even in these challenging times, we hope we're delivering. And to that end, we'll continue to have our governing board meeting Zoom to manage Women's Council. We promise the leadership live stream weekly. We've moved Tipsy Tuesday to every other week. We'll still be there. Don't forget, we have opened a private group, Women's Council of Realtors Tampa Facebook page. Go there, join. That's for us to have discussion amongst ourselves, questions. You need help with anything, we're there. We have still Mentor on Demand open to all of you. You go to wcrtampa.com, click on the Mentor on Demand program, and there's a team of well-respected, experienced agents that are there to help you with your concerns and your problems. Also, national, WCR.org, has a number of videos and webinars and things running all day long. So if you don't have a lot of business going, use this time to educate yourself and learn some new things. And then as far as events go, our next event, May 21st, we were scheduled to have Matt Jones. He's a nationally and internationally known speaker, cancer survivor, marathon runner, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good motivation. He lived through a couple nightmares, came out of it, came out on top, and he's there to share that with us. And even though we can't meet in person, we will have on 5/21, we will have a webinar, and Matt will be live. We will bring this to you as a service of Women's Council. We're going to do it free of charge, even though he's a national speaker, and then everyone coming will receive one of his ebooks, one of his bestsellers. So be looking for that information to come out shortly.
And that's going to be a little bit different. Remember, we're going to do that as a Zoom because he's got a presentation. So we're not going to do that as a live. Yeah.
Yeah. And you will go, we'll send you the link. You will do a reservation like you do when we're having any other event on Eventbrite. You'll get your link to come in. It'll be handled that way. So be looking for those emails shortly. Right now, as far as we know, WIRE is still coming up in Tampa, Women in Real Estate, at the end of June, and the Florida Association of Realtors is still scheduling their August conference. So business is unusual, business as usual. We're moving forward. Anything you want to add before we close, Nick?
I think we're good. I think Febre, you guys are awesome. Everything that you do, I highly, highly recommend. We've been using you guys for years, and we're not just saying, I mean, literally. So anybody on this call, if you need some help with, your video tours, professional photography, you got to call these guys. They're great. They're great sponsors, and I couldn't recommend you guys enough.
And then for parting words, we always like to leave on an up note. Do y'all have one, maybe a little trinket or something you want to share that you think is the best thing that's come out of all this Corona situation?
Definitely that because of the situation, we've all come together. I've seen a lot of donations happening to folks that have lost their jobs or to non-essential businesses. A lot of people out there are buying with small businesses versus, those other named businesses. But so I definitely think that this has really just brought us closer together, and it's just really just motivating everyone else out there to make it happen for everyone.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Blake, did you want to add anything?
No, that's perfect.
That's perfect. That says it all. Well, thank you again. I want to remind you to tune in next Wednesday at 1. We'll have Darlene Davenport here as president of Greater Tampa Realtors. So tune in next week. Thank you again. Y'all have a wonderful week.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks, guys.